The way I befriended the Vietnamese government was through the young kids. You know, Vietnam is 75 million people, and more than half were born after 1975. So that young people are hungry for knowledge, especially in Vietnam with the trade embargo. They've had no books, no magazines, so they were very, very naive about what was going on in the world. So I told them American jokes, and I told them French jokes, and we exchanged ideas. And this very young man who worked in the foreign ministry for Vietnam, which is for Hanoi, he said, "What would you like to do?" And I said, "I would like to come back and try to build a bridge." And he said, "What do you mean build a bridge?" And I said, "Maybe make a film about my experience meeting you, and your reaction to me as a Vietnamese returning from overseas." And they said, "Oh, you must write a proposal." And I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. What proposal can I write? It's just an idea. It's just a dream. So they said, "Well, what do you like to write?" And I said, "I like to write poetry." And they said, "Okay, write a poem, and we will translate it and send it to General Vo Nguyen Giap." I mean, General Giap was my father's history teacher. He beat the French and the Americans. If my poem could be read by General Giap, I would be very, very honored. So that night, I went to the Saigon River, not to write a poem, just to look at the beautiful view on the river. And a little boy came up to me. There was a full moon, and he came up and he said, "Elder sister, do you see the moon?" And I said, "Yes, it's so beautiful." And he said, "Yes, where are you from?" And I said, "From America." And he said, "Do they have a full moon in America?" Oh, and I started to cry, to think that we share the same moon, but we don't even know it. And so I began to write a poem called "Dear Vietnam, Dear America, New Dawn of Understanding." And I gave that poem the next day to my friend in the foreign ministry, and he sent it to General Giap. General Giap called me in my hotel room a week later, and he said, "This is the general." And the Vietnamese name for the general confused me, because I thought it was an imposter. I thought it was a joke. So I got very rattled, and I called him director instead of general. And he said, "No, I hear you are the director, and I'm the general." And it was a very funny exchange, because I saw he had a sense of humor. I told him that my father, even though my father is very anti-communist, my father respects him because he was his history teacher. And he said, "Oh, tell me more about your father." And I thought, now they're really going to capture me and throw me in jail. But they were so friendly, very spiritual, very, very spiritual, very Vietnamese, very Asian, forgiving, and very polite and very kind. So I saw a different side to these men who formed the Communist Party in Vietnam. Phạm Văn Đồng, Lê Đức Thọ, Vo Nguyen Giap were the three who were around Ho Chi Minh to form the Communist Party. And here I got to meet all three, spend time in their homes, meet their families, share my poetry. And I thought, this is reconciliation. This is the bridge that I was looking to build.